Well, here it comes.
Now, how y'all's middle school teams, back when like we went to school there, it was your seventh and eighth graders in one combined team. Is that still kind of how it operates?
Yeah,
I got
it
you.
is seventh and eighth.
How many players would y'all say y'all run middle school wise between two grades on one team?
I'd probably ballpark it. I don't have the exact number. It's a pretty good, healthy number of kids. You look
Yeah.
at the sideline and it looks pretty solid. I'd say roughly 40s, 50s, maybe.
I got you. Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
I kind of just say all that to say, because there's probably other small schools out there that's the exact same way it works and all that. Y'all probably have, I don't know, at least 4 to 5 coaches dedicated to the junior high,
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
I got you. Yeah, that's kind of how I remember it being. Actually, I remember when I was in middle school there,
We had two.
we had two coaches. And I remember the first day of practice, all we did was hit the 2-man sled. Everybody got in 2 lines, and this is before everybody got weeded out. So it's like 60, 70 kids in a 2-man sled line. Blow the whistle, we just hammer it. Next guy rolls up, those 2 guys hammer it. We did that for an hour and a half. And that was it. Like, that's what practice was for like the first week, just hitting 2-man sled. You might have gotten – you got 60 guys waiting in the line. You might have got, 10 reps when it was all said and done. But that's a lot for just 2 guys. And then I think, when our coach, when they hired on Coach Leroy, who wound up coaching us in high school, I thought it was pretty neat how they kind of organized it to where the high school coaches would, and we had to all share the same practice field at the time. Like we would be done with our practices, had to be done at 5. Because that's when the older kids were going to come out, get out of film and stuff, and they were going to hit the field. But for that hour 30, that we were out there, they would the high school coaches would come out and coach us. And so you're doing the same individual drills by the same coach from grade 7 through 12 if you stuck it around, and if that coach stuck it around. And I thought that was a nice switch up. And obviously you get more helping hands out there, get more eyes on kids, and that was a good switch up to see. And I'm sure other schools out there do it the same way. But, that was – to think about just 2 guys doing it, that's wild now.
I don't know how – I mean, just think of like giving out equipment,
Yeah.
locker room, just the whole logistics of it. I don't know how 2 people can do it, and I don't know how they did it. But it's crazy. I'm actually – one of our assistant coaches who I work with was my middle school coach. And so it's crazy. Again, I've talked about it before with Coach Garner, but it's just crazy for it to flip, and now you're working with them instead of them coaching you.
Oh man, I can't even imagine what some of, because I remember one of the 2 guys that was one of our coaches in middle school before they hired the new coach on that gave them a lot more help. I'll never forget. I can't remember Coach Peppers. That was his name. Shout out to Coach Peppers. Coach Pep. And I never forget. We had these guys that were always late to practice every day because they're just just walking down from. There's a little bit of a hike from the old middle school to the practice field. And he said, "There they go again, bebopping down to the practice field late. Get your feet chopping up down." It's like, shout out to Coach Pep.
It's crazy now. So the old, I guess it's the old locker room before the field house was built. The old gray building.
Yeah,
that's the visitors' locker room now.
Yeah,
part of it is the middle school has their own dedicated locker room in the old weight room space of that building.
That was much needed. Needed.
So, it's kind of their, logistically, their stuff operates a little more smooth than ours because the school's right here.
Yeah, it's all on one site.
Right there. They walk, maybe 30 yards to their practice field versus the high school's across the street on the other side. We have some kids that walk because they're 9th graders that can't drive, and their buddy, nobody gives them a ride. I don't know why. So we kind of have to bump practice a little later just to give them time to get over there.
I remember we would all just hop in the bed of a truck and ride over to practice, and we're jamming out to Conway Twitty on the ride there. Oh man! But
crazy, man.
I never forget when we were in middle school. Before we had all that, we just basically used the PE storage chain link fence that was, And
you had like a bag.
we had a bag,
mesh
yeah.
bag.
And you just threw everything in the bag, never washed unless you took it home to get washed. It never got washed. You just throw it all in a mesh bag, throw it back there in the storage pile. Nothing ever got stolen though. I mean,
Nope.
if it did, like we never said anything because we were going to get our feet chopping
Yeah.
because we lost something. Simple times, but man, I've been out here. This is year 6 out here now, and just in the 6 years I've been out here, we've opened up 2 middle schools, and so for a while when we had 3. Okay, so the very first year we had just straight 2 middle schools, so it kind of was simple. This middle school fed this one. This middle school fed this one. And then over time, they're building neighborhoods, all this and that crazy growth. So they add a 3rd middle school, and it was still like all of this school goes here, all of this school goes here.